March of 2007, lives changed forever in the City of Americas, but they have bounced back. They're back on their feet. And one of the huge concerns that night was when the hospital was destroyed by Mother Nature. David Seagraves is president, CEO of the hospital here serving Sumter County and also Americus, Georgia. It's great to have him for the next few moments. We have come over here so many times to do news stories, the night the storm happened, the morning after, months, the rebuilding phases. But to be able to sit here in front of this facility, do you still have to kind of pinch yourself a little bit, because Mother Nature changed lives so quickly that night back in March of 2007, and now this, a year later.
It did indeed,
yeah.
And it's been a monumental effort on the part of so many who have come to our aid since that night. Folks responded admirably and heroically that night, and since then we've had tremendous support from so many different organizations, agencies, individuals, and certainly we want to thank Channel 10 for y'all being here on a very regular basis and giving us the opportunity to share with your viewing audience updates on our progress.
Well, we were glad to do whatever we could do during that time. I talked to you for just a few moments before we started this interview, and I asked you where you were that particular night when the tornado hit the city. You were at home.
I was. It was about 9:30 that evening when the storms came through, and the tornado made its path through Sumter County and Americus. And I was at home, and I happened to be talking with the House Supervisor as the storms approached, and we really didn't know what to expect. They didn't have but just a few minutes to prepare for this tornado. Really didn't know that it was going to hit, obviously.
So it was very powerful, to say the least.
It was indeed.
But when you get the call, then you realize, okay, this tornado has hit our city and it's hit the hospital. There's damage, hopefully not loss of life within the hospital, but there was loss of life within this city. A lot of people were also injured. But when you actually saw the physical damage to the hospital, where all of your people work, where babies are delivered, where surgeries are performed, I can't imagine what that feeling must have been like for you when you actually saw it.
Of course, that night, all the lights were out, the power was out.
Right.
I could see in the distance as I approached the building the fire alarm system lights throughout the corridors blinking in unison. But with the power being out throughout that area of Americas, and we didn't have a moon that night with the storms being what they were, so it was quite dark. The extent of the damage was difficult to assess at that point in time. But you could tell all the trees, the power lines, and all that I couldn't drive to the hospital other than within about a mile, and then had to get out and hike the rest of the way. So it was very, very evident. Okay. And as I came to the building, I could see destruction to the exterior, and as I tried to enter, the just volumes of water that were coming down the stairs from the roof of the building, and it was really a mess, an out-of-body experience.
It had to be. It had to be for all of you. From that point, and this is what has amazed, I think, everybody else too, after the tornado hit, from that point on, how quickly you were able to get things up, just the temporary facilities to take care of patients that had been injured, but you know, moms who'd had babies, people who had just had some surgeries, massive injuries as well. There you were, set up right there, still serving people who needed you.
Well, we had a lot of help.
Yeah.
And certainly the night of the tornado, as quickly as the roads could be cleared, we were able to transfer our patients to other area facilities, including Albany facilities, for their continued care. And then we moved very quickly to establish a first aid station at First Baptist Church here in Americus that served us for about 6 days or so in conjunction with the American Red Cross, until GEMA, working with the state, was able to facilitate the delivery of our tent facilities that you saw, that people remember vividly, the blue tents in the little Smurf village. Still there in minds.
It is.
And that served us for about the next 60 days or so. But we were able to provide urgent care services and limited outpatient services in that facility. There was never any intent to provide any inpatient care.
Right.
But I think we may have had a baby or two while we were there, just because of the timing of things with deliveries. But It served us reasonably well during those days,
Yeah.
but we were anxious to get in something more substantial, and then we were able to construct and renovate really some modular buildings that we were able to facilitate delivery to the community and get at least a more substantial level of service as far as urgent care and some outpatient diagnostic and a few therapeutic services going.
So bring us up to where we are sitting today. This is a miracle too behind us.
It has
really is.
It has never been done before. This is a one-off project. There's not another one like it anywhere to be found. It's never been done before. And of course, with something that you embark upon which has never been done before, never been attempted, a building of this type using the cogem units as the building structure itself. There was a lot of learning as you go, in spite of the fact that you obviously anticipate certain challenges associated with the design and construction. But we thought it could be done quicker, and we had hopes that it would be done quicker. But I think the reality of what it really takes to make something of this nature come together really became evident as we proceeded.
So this is the FEMA facility, if you will, but you're going to rebuild a brand new hospital on site, exactly where the old hospital was destroyed. Is that right?
On that site.
Okay.
This facility behind us is largely financed through the assistance of FEMA. GEMA participates to a degree, and there's a local cost share that helped to make this building reality. It is designed as a temporary facility. It was designed to service no longer than 3 years. And that was the period that we anticipated would be involved in the design and construction of the permanent hospital that you mentioned that will be on the site of the old hospital.
And when that one's finished, we're going to come back over and talk with you once again.
Well, we would certainly love to have you come back then.
So out of tragedy, things have come back into being, and working towards some of these things as well. Within the City of Americas, once again, offering good health care and serving people from all walks of life. David Seagraves is President and CEO of Sumter Regional Hospital, and they are back on their feet. And once again, thanks to you and to everybody that's worked together with the hospital.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to have a chance to talk to the mayor to find out exactly how the city has rebounded.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Back to you at the news desk.